What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. And with the hunting season quickly approaching, I figured now would be a really good time to walk you guys through what arrow build I'm going to be running this year. Now, this is the lightest whitetail arrow I've actually ever built and that I'm actually going to hunt with. Years past, I've always run Easton Access 5mm. My total arrow build was coming in right around 450 grains, but my goal this year was to maintain speeds of 280 feet per second while still maintaining a really good FOC and high kinetic energy. But ultimately, I just wanted a really flat shooting arrow. So if I have a tight gap that I need to shoot through, I'm going to have that ability and the confidence with my equipment. Now, this arrow has been around for a really long time. It's a RIP TKO. I'm running a 350 spine. Obviously, they're very durable. They're very accurate. They have really good tolerances in between their arrows that you buy within a package. They are a little bit more pricier when compared to the Easton Access, but it was definitely an arrow that I wanted to test out and really allowed me to achieve the overall arrow build that I was looking for. Now, this total arrow weight is coming in at 418 grains, and that's with a wrap, with a four-fletch, and I got a 50 grain outsert up front and a 100 grain head. Now, with this total arrow setup, I'm achieving 13% FOC, which is a little bit lower than what I had hoped for. Now, I could obviously switch the tip out for 125 grain, but again, I want to maintain that 280 or higher speed, so I'm going to sacrifice a little bit of FOC to keep that speed. Now, what was really surprising to me is I did a kinetic energy calculator on Victory's website, and this arrow build, the total grains with the speed that my bow is shooting, I'm still achieving 74.38 foot-pounds of kinetic energy, which is more than enough for whitetail hunting. Most places would recommend that you have anywhere from 45 to 65 foot-pounds of kinetic energy for whitetail deer. Obviously, the higher you go as far as game size, the more kinetic energy you want. But this, I feel like, is going to perform really, really well. Now, as far as like broadheads that I'm going to be running, I'm going to run a mixed quiver this year. If you guys have followed the channel, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of Sever broadheads. They just released their newest hybrid series this year, which is a 1.5 inch cut with bleeder blades. So I think you're getting like right around, you're getting closer to that 2-inch cut with those bleeder blades, but that is definitely a broadhead that I'm going to keep in the quiver this year. I want to test that out. I'm still waiting for them to come in. I will run a 1.5 Sever, which is probably my favorite broadhead that they've ever made. I think they fly great, you get really good penetration, and you also get really decent blood trails. Now, back in 2023, they did come out with their 1.75. Unfortunately, I didn't have an opportunity to test that head out. I did run it all through the whitetail season. I just didn't shoot anything with it. So I'm going to keep one of those in my quiver because I want to see the penetration because I didn't really like their 2.0. So I'm hoping that that's kind of a good in-between mix of the 1.5 with the penetration and the 2.0 blood trail you get. Now, another broadhead that I'm going to run this year, and I ran this one during turkey season. I was very impressed with the accuracy, the flight, and also the wound channel that it made. Now, keep in mind, this was on a turkey, so a much smaller animal, but this is the dead meat. This is an 1.5-inch 3-blade expandable. These have been around for a while. Like I said, they fly great, and from everything that I've read when it comes up to whitetail hunting, they perform well. Now, keep in mind, this is like a one-and-done style broadhead, but as long as I get a good pass-through or a complete pass-through and I get a really good blood trail, I'll be happy with the overall performance. But I'll be interested to see how this broadhead performs with this light of an arrow. Now, for me personally, I typically tend to stay away from 2-inch cut broadheads because I feel like you lack penetration on them. But one broadhead that I'm very interested in testing out, and it's been getting a lot of hype lately, is the Beast broadhead. I'm going to order some of those this year. I'm going to throw one in the quiver, and again, I just want to see how it performs with this light of an arrow, what type of penetration we get, and what type of blood trail. Throughout the season, if I'm able to, and I'm lucky enough to be able to shoot this many deer, I hope to stack the freezer up with some does this year, but I'll document the results that I get on each one of these broadheads and then report back to you guys on how I feel like they perform, and then ultimately report back to you guys on how I feel like this arrow build performed. Like I said, this is the lightest whitetail setup that I've ever personally ran. So I am curious to see how it's going to perform if the arrow makes contact with bone, what type of penetration I'm going to get. Other than that, that's going to be it for this video. Just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of what I'll be running in my quiver this year when it comes to the archery season here in Michigan. If you guys have any other questions, you know that you can leave me a comment below. You can always reach out to me directly on Instagram. I'm always happy to help. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Your guys' support greatly helps us out. We're really trying to hit 10K this year. So like I said, any support greatly helps us out and really keeps us doing what we're doing. But until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you guys on the next one.